I saw it, yeah. You what? Did you drop it like it's hot? That's how you got it? I'll talk to you. I want here. Yeah. So, you know, they let them on the plane. They said, don't check those people. They've been violated, as if the Native Americans weren't violated enough. You can't let them be checked. Just let them bring their militant weapons of mass destruction, their payloads of viruses in their bodies. Just let them come in the country. We're a free nation. Why should we make them feel marginalized like we do our own population of people? You know, so you and your tax dollars was paying for all of these people climbing all over the plane like a plague of roaches coming into a new country and unvetted, not checked, and they left a whole $1 billion worth of equipment down there, which one of the Sea Stars went over there to do a whole, she went over there in Afghanistan, you know, to go and visit, and they were seeing all of the U.S. military outfits, fatigues, guns, all the holders being sold by the Afghanistan markets, being sold. But your tax dollars, you know, but your IRS won't let you not pay taxes, right? You can go to the doctor's appointment with the high medical that you basically are going to quacks who are either going to medicate you or try to cut off something or make you get a medication that helps with one thing but gives you 50 other side effects in another way, right? But, oh, and also your tax dollars, which literally is weaponizing and giving everybody free medical all over Europe, but you have to go to the doctor and barely lose your pension and use all your money to try to just maintain your health after being chemicalized, poisoned with chemtrails, food of mass destruction, water that has a whole bunch of fluoride that was purposefully put in there by the wonderful Nazis that were contracted by your Willy Wonka assisted government that brought them in here after they just practiced on a whole bunch of Jews in the concentration camps after they told them that they were going to freedom cities. I'm just saying. Do I sound like a rapper? I could rap, y'all, right? Hip hop, a hibbity to hibbity hip hop, hibbity to the bang bang. I'm a rapper, y'all. Okay? I don't know if I'm sorry, if I'm a racist for sharing this with you, talking about people in the Middle East. I don't have a lily pad in this fight, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm just mentioning things that I'm observing as a United Fakes fellow citizen, and how it's interesting that you make us go through a whole rigmarole going through the airport, getting checked up our rectum. You darn near give us a pap smear when we go through TSA, but you gonna let a whole bunch of people that you've already subjugated to war, bombs, killed their grandmothers, let their children be beheaded, and then you go and just let everybody come in here unvetted. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe I'm mentally ill. Maybe I'm not telling the truth, but I just think that's interesting. Well, you have to pay your medical and you getting a whole bunch of, you have paid for, you got to work your whole life in a job that pays you bare minimum and get medical that is nearly not even comparable to those in so-called third world countries that most people are going to Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil to go get a doctor's appointment because you're trying to kill them. But I'm just, don't listen to the frog. I'm a trans frog. What do I know? I don't even have a lily pad in a pond in this. You know what I'm saying? Put a like on the video if you're up for the shenanigans today. I'm sure this video will be taken down. Because remember, YouTube told Fleur Brun that she's a terrorist. I'm on here spewing terrorist information. I'm basically telling you lies and mass destruction. I'm just a mom. What would I know? You know what I'm saying? How could I speak this? Why? Because most channels are punks. Like all these channels that say, oh, don't come on my channel and say anything about this. Don't come on my channel and say anything about the Kukarachi shot. Don't say any Kukarachi shot on my channel. Don't talk about things that'll take away my money of mass destruction because I'm getting paid. I'm getting monetary compensation from a company that baited and switched us, told us that we were on a free website that was going to allow us to express ourselves fully. And then as soon as you start building up, everybody's coming over to YouTube. Now you bring in NBC, ABC, and all these bastards, and then you start limiting and censoring our conversation and literally uplifting people who are punks on YouTube. Because anybody on YouTube that got more than 700, 300, 100,000 subscribers who's so-called speaking the truth, unless they getting hit and called terrorists or their videos are getting taken off, they are the sellouts. Yeah, I said it. And no, I'm not drinking vodka and I'm not drinking liquor. I'm actually sober. I'm drug free. I have to drink water that is shipped in from another country because our water systems are so jacked up from all kinds of fluoride, chemicalized Mogellans, all kinds of graphene, weapons of mass destruction, and then God knows what other opioids and other things they pumping in our water. So I got to go and ship water from another country where we give them free medical because our country, we're just basically used as chattel to allow the Queen Lizzie's colonies of mass destruction to live better than the United States. Welcome to the end, friend. Don't worry. They're gonna set out they're probably gonna put out a nice little, a weaponized lasers on my house to try to fry the brain. But unfortunately and gratefully, I'm a frog in mass destruction, so we're not really impeded by that. And I could just hop over to another border. Big up to everybody who's jumping ship out of the United States because it's on and popping, okay? All right, so y'all, all these purple lights that they're putting up, it's to basically bait and switch you and to make you numb so that you won't see where you're supposed to go at the time when you're supposed to see those purple lights. All of the Willy Wonka systems in every one of these countries, for the most part, is trying to kill its citizens, okay? They've weaponized your food. They've dominated all of social media with all these Zionists and Jesuits that are basically telling you things that are lies of mass destruction to make you feel and coddle you and make you feel like everything's safe. For those who are still watching Super Bowls and going to celebrate the wonderful Thanksgiving, which basically is a celebration of all the murders and gentrification and colonization of the indigenous that barely didn't make it. And all of the other native tribes that are sitting here are the sellouts that allowed the other native groups to basically be killed and savagely genocided. You're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving next week, enjoying your turkey and mass destruction that the natives, beautifully shared effortlessly with such love in their hearts to help the new visitors to acclimate to their world, while the new visitors said, oh, we like your beautiful land. Yeah, let me just take in everything and let me put some smallpox on blankets so that I can murder your children and basically give viruses to all of you so we can get rid of you fast enough so we could take on your land without having any complications. Enjoy Thanksgiving next week, y'all. I'm glad, but I'm a racist, though. I'm sorry. I'm just a frog. I don't really have a lily pad and a pond in this battle. You know what I'm saying? When I called myself a Carib, I was called the hater and called arrogant for stating what I was genetically, because, reminiscent, showing a brown copper woman who literally remembers and doesn't have any sort of dominating traits of those who came and genocided other people and other nations that she's associated with. God forbid I can actually say that I'm a native and actually say that with free reign. Because remember, they thought that they killed all of us. When a couple of us pop out of the closet like, oh, shoot, a bone, a native bone. Oh my God, she's a Negro. Oh, we can't tell her she's a Negro. Oh, don't let her come out. she's going to let everybody know what we did. And that's why you don't realize that there's never going to be any sort of, reparations, because you don't give reparations to natives. But if the natives don't know that they're natives, then they're going to ask for reparations because you told them they're African Americans, because you did a bait and switch. How beautiful this country is. Oh my God, make America great again. Who for though? The frogs? Because I think, and even with the frogs, I might be having sex with myself soon because of all the chemicals they put in the water. So I don't even know how long that's going to last. You know what I'm saying? Making America great again. Who? For the natives? Who were basically, genocided? And the others ran over the Mexican border. And the ones who ran over the Mexican border, which are the Apache and the Comanche, which were the baddest indigenous who fought some of these nasty bastards who came here to do the bait and switch. They are demonized and called aliens coming back on a landmass that their ancestors walked on without any sort of borders. Go figure that. But, who are you listening to? A mentally ill woman who says that she's native and really she's from Africa, though my ancestors remember where they're from and yours may not even be from here. But don't listen to me because I'm just a frog. Calling me arrogant because I actually like myself and I love my lineage. Go figure that. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting because if I was twerking and had a BLM flag on the back of my behind and I was basically acting like a savage going to robbing stores and being a criminal, then everybody would accept me better, right? Then I would be the reminiscent of the black people in this country if I was acting like the very savage that doesn't exist. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like myself. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like who I am and like my skin and love my hair and love my hair color and love my eye color and love my father and love my mother. I apologize for loving myself. I didn't mean to offend anyone for liking my skin color and feeling like that was okay. I'm really sorry for those. I didn't mean to insult you for denoting my Caribbean history and my Carib nationality and my lineage. I apologize for that. I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean to offend you of talking about good things that come from being brown or copper skin. I didn't mean to talk about good things about myself because I should have just been in self-hate. I didn't mean to talk about the fact that I picked a husband that looked like me and my children and that I love myself, so I picked an image that was reminiscent of myself. I apologize for that. Please do not take that as anything else but me just trying to keep it real. But I apologize. I did not mean to make you think that there are brown women that are educated, that aren't marginalized, that aren't taking drugs, that aren't twerking, that love themselves, love their family, and has a good father living in the house with them. I apologize for breaking those stereotypes. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize by saying that Africa is a beautiful nation with so many multiple groups of wonderful people. And even though that isn't where my ancestors directly came from, that I have such love for that nation and I really respect them and honor them. And that even though the United States has re-gentrified people, taking away their actual national lineage and connection to the land that they lived on, that literally, that was a problem. I apologize for that. And I apologize to the woman who came in my group acting like she was cool with brown people, but basically throwing our own people under the bus, talking about all their personal business, telling people's business, talking about how they thought that a celebrity from the movie Highland was calling them, but really they thought they were psychologically ill. I apologize for that. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to do it. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. Next time I'm going to try to come on and act more black for you. I will. And I'm going to try to twerk. I don't really know how to twerk. My mother didn't twerk. I'm not an alcoholic, but maybe I could smoke some weed for you to make you think I'm authentically black. So that would make you feel more comfortable. I apologize for that. Being in love with yourself is too much nowadays. So I apologize because, already, I've been labeled as a terrorist by the very corporation that told us we had free speech on here, YouTube. And then I've been labeled as a terrorist when I'm coming on here, haven't ever twerked, haven't ever showed my genitalia, haven't ever smoked a marijuana. I haven't drank on here. I don't curse. I take care of my children. I love my parents. I love my children. I love my home. But I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't know that loving yourself is very terroristic, or speaking the truth about your native nationality that's been lied to you and historically wiped away to allow other people to live on a land free without guilt. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Exodus, y'all. I apologize. Can I say, I'm going to sing the national anthem, y'all. I pledge allegiance. Where's the heart? I'm sorry. The upgrade. The heart used to be here. It used to be here. I don't know where the heart is. We had to upgrade. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under devils and Satanists, under individual, under God, with liberty and justice for none. Does that make it better, y'all? You want to stay in the United States of America? Go ahead. You want to stay in a country that's killing you up by weaponizing your food and causing a whole bunch of coups and telling people that they black when they're not, telling them they're for African when they're really not, telling other people that it's okay to gentrify and take away a symbol that was really innocent and make it into something perverted? You could stay. If you call that terroristic, then it is what it is. If you think it's okay for all of these people to have access to a girl's bathroom, to allow grown men with tall heels who still have balls of mass destruction to enter a girl's bathroom and use it to perhaps molest her in the bathroom because he decides one day to dress into a skirt because the whole country has allowed him to be change his gender to make him more accessible to young girls and to kidnap them, go ahead. To tell little brown boys that they're nothing, then you basically tell them that they're not applicable or appropriate to go into corporate America. And then when they start selling marijuana, you put them in jail for 10 years and then you freaking, you legalized it and put a whole bunch of chemicals in it. And those poor boys are still living in jail because they couldn't get a job. But they're animals, right? They're apes, monkeys. The monkey world, right? But you won't show the videos of others robbing stores. You just like Willy Wonka, you Zionist bastards, you freaking Jesuits devils. You like to show all the brown people doing dirty things, but you don't want to show anybody else doing anything, right? Because we're the only demons in this world, right? We're the same people who let everybody in this country, allowed them to walk all over us and kill off all the babies here so they can feel comfortable with their white picket fences, but we the devils, right? I haven't gone to any country, dominated it, lied to the people, act like I was friends, and then stab them in the back and take all the resources, but I'm the devil, right? Robbing a liquor store doesn't really equate to robbing a whole country of its resources, sir. I'm sorry. For every cell phone in here, I'm sorry, my people of so-called African origin, I'm not going over to Africa, letting little babies go and go in holes, getting cobalt for your comfortable cell phones. But I'm a devil, right? You want me to support Palestine and Israel, but you can't even recognize what's going on in Haiti with the United States going over there causing coups, kidnapping children to eat them and use their organs, and having a whole freaking a political stance of them murdering their president, prime minister, and y'all don't even talk about it, but you want me to support Palestine, right? How am I supposed to support another country when you don't even see anybody else? You only want me to support you because it's appropriate now because all the governments are telling you that that's something we should talk about. I'm going to talk about things that happen in my neck of the woods. Why am I going to go over to the Middle East? We got problems over here. What's the song? What's the song? Oh, wait. Hold on, y'all. I want to be a patriarch. I want to be patriarchal frog. Okay, hold on. My country, 'tis of thee, free, sweet land of liberty, of thee I see. Land where my fathers died, land where the pilgrims' pride, all on the mountainside, let freedom ring. Whoop it up, yay! Did you like my song? Ribbit, ribbit. I want everybody to thank YouTube. I want to give a really thank you to. I want to give a sip to YouTube. Please put a like in the video. I want to thank YouTube for really putting me as the most hated terrorist on YouTube. Thank you very much. I've given you, I've been here since 2011. I want to thank YouTube. I want to thank YouTube for all of its agents of mass destruction coming here and trolling my channel, making a mother feel like she's a piece of trash for speaking truth and censoring everything we say. I want to thank YouTube for weaponizing all these other Agent Smiths on all these channels, making them seem like they're actually whistleblowers, but they're just basically other agents that you've you've given commerce to allow them to constantly say things that are absolutely lies or just mislead people or distract them. Thank you, YouTube. I want to thank YouTube for making all of us feel like the liberties and the justice for all literally is a lie of mass destruction. Thank you so much. And all the channels who are punks, who want to sit there and cape for a channel that allows us to be marginalized, good for you. I hope you karmically will endure the same kind of sellout behavior in the next 6 months. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me give a PSA. Fleur doesn't give a crap anymore. I don't really care. You know why? Because it really doesn't matter. Because when you live righteously, if you do things in alignment with yourself and you are proud to go to sleep every night knowing that you supported your heart, what you feel, and you aren't hurting people, I think that's all I have to do. I sleep gratefully well at night knowing that when I come on here, I share the truth that I know. And if it is something that isn't known, then I'm grateful to be able to be made aware of something that is truth. They're setting you up, y'all. And if you stay in the United Fakes, you are going to be just another victim of the terrorism of the true goons who are existing here. They are basically going to bait and switch you. They're going to make sure that they create a big enough false flag, so they're going to call you into these smart cities where basically concentration camp. It's the same loop. You just gonna have to realize that this is what they're gonna do. And for those who say you don't have to run, no, staying somewhere when you know that there's a fire is being an idiot. And for you telling people that they shouldn't run, it's not about running, it's actually being smart enough to know when to stay and when to leave. And by you constantly making people feel bad that they want to actually live somewhere where their country loves them, respects them, and is trying to protect them, you are part of the problem, sir or ma'am. This country has done nothing but constantly put other people in danger, including their own citizens. Do you know how many people are sitting right now as elders, so proud to say that they are a part of the United Fakes, when literally this country is doing nothing, including its medical system, but pumping poison in their cells every time they give them freaking medication that's coming from chinois? What do you want to do? Stay here and say, oh, well, my native people came here. Well, freaking look how many colonizers came, and we're your native people now. Are they doing that? Oh, where's the representation of the indigenous people in the Congress? How many indigenous people are in the Congress or in the Senate? How many native indigenous people became president of the United Fakes? But you want to stay here? And what? Did you fight hard enough to preserve your lands and your indigenous cultures? So stop it already. For you to sit here and act like you're higher than thou and say, oh, don't run. Where are your soldiers, sir? Where are your soldiers who are going and making sure that the babies aren't drinking fluorinated water which is destroying their endocrine system? Where are your warriors stopping women from being raped and molested by these perverts dressed up in dresses going into women's bathrooms, sir? Where are your soldiers that are sitting here standing up for the rights of the citizens here? So until you do that, you shouldn't be in any position to tell people to stay unless you have something for them to stay for. I'm talking for the women. And I'm talking about lunar women, Asian women, brown women, indigenous women. I'm telling them that you haven't any lily pad in this fight. Leave the United States as soon as you can. Because if you stay, all they're going to do is create more false flags to initiate you and to motivate you and then inevitably put you into these smart cities where then they're going to have access to all of you, including your DNA. And let me give a shout out to Jamoji, who shared this information on Zoom the other night. Thank you for sharing the fact that your United Fakes is also contracting prisoners to give their DNA through their sperm, paying them $50 to have their sperm at $50 each, and then also making sure that they're putting the same blood types in a cell so they could study them while they're weaponizing their DNA and getting that information so that they can use that for the main population of brown indigenous people, because that's the only one in prisons, even though they take up only 12% of the population. So for all our homeboys and homegirls in the prison system, hold yourself and hold your DNA, because it's not going to be that much longer. Whether you go to God, Allah, Muhammad, whether you go to heaven or hell, you're not going to have that much longer. Don't give them your DNA, because when you do that, you compromise the whole collective in the biosphere. There are a lot of countries that are not going to war. This isn't one of them. When people ask me where to go, there's a whole lot of countries that will respect you better than the fake one with a fake president that are sitting here calling people into a psychotic position. You call me a terrorist, right? YouTube, that's what you called me, right? You said I was a terrorist as a mom, telling people what's going on as if they didn't know. Take your babies, take your family, and leave the United States. If you don't, you're gonna wish that you did. This is zero. This is ground zero of the weaponized concentration camps that come into a neighbor here near you. Go look at the cities for what is it called? City 40. Look at all the smart cities and see where they are. Go look at what happened in Lahaina and Maui and see if that wasn't by chance. And don't come to me and be like, hey, Fleur, Brun, you know what? I'm not going to walk you through the steps. If you love yourself, you love your, C40. Thank you. C40 organization. Go look at those cities and see if you're living in one of those. You can stay if you want, but you're going to fight those healthy males. Those males don't look like they've been eating Kentucky Fried Chicken every day. Do you see the males coming over the border, y'all? Do you see how they look? Do you see how healthy these men? They don't have a fat belly full of yeast and beer. They don't have bad skin. They're not wearing nail polish and heels and talking about, hey girl. They're not doing that. You got 1 million weaponized males coming in the country by invitation, and you're going to sit in here and tell people to stay, when mostly the people that are going to be called or abused are going to be women and children, you fool. We don't even know if those are humans. Those could be super soldiers. Those could be aliens. The alien invasion has already happened, and they're setting up shop. And they gave them a whole bunch of boxes, which you know what in there. There's a whole bunch of lunches in there with condiments to take out, just like the Native Americans. This is a revision of what happened. I told you we're living in a simulation. There's nothing new. There's nothing going on but the rent. Got to have a J-O-B. If you're gonna be with me. I'm gonna take down the video. I don't care. You really don't get it. For all the so-called soldiers who are wonderful combatants wearing all this jewelry, fake teeth and everything online, you got tattoos all over your face. Are you gonna be the warriors that protect the women and children here? Where's all your land with all of your tribes set up waiting? Because I know the Mormons are ready in Utah. I know the Orthodoxy Jews are ready in Brooklyn. I know the Nation of Islam is ready. What about y'all? I'm just saying, women, who are these men going to have sex with? You gonna let them have sex with you when they may be carrying payloads of Kukarachi's remix? Because I haven't ever seen a war where you had this many men and they weren't looking for women for relief. Anyway, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm being a really bad frog. I'm being a toad. I apologize, Ribbit. 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 I'm going to end this conversation. I think I went south. I'm going to probably take this down because YouTube is going to, again, call me a terrorist for advising you to leave the United States. You can join us tonight on Zoom for more conversation and revelations on what to do to leave the United States if you desire. I won't charge you $1,000 to talk to Oshun on a walkie-talkie, nor will I try to sell you a dragon for $2,000. But if you want to join us on Zoom and join Patreon, you will meet some of the most amazing women and men. People are heightened in self-awareness, and we're prepared to relocate ourselves outside, not only of this dreadful, dreadful country that calls itself the United States, but also outside the firmament, waking up in our pods and looking in the past of this reality that you call the simulation Earth. So, this message is to all the other trans frogs. For anyone who wants to donate a lily pad and a pond for Fleur Brun in my transformation of becoming a trans frog, I will accept those donations. Thank you. And if you'd like to join us tonight, and let me apologize again. I apologize for yelling. I didn't mean it. You know, according to YouTube, I'm psychologically unwell. I'm a terrorist of mass destruction. Hush, humans. Hush. You have to keep your mind empty so I can fill it with destruction and alien intervention. Shh. Shh. I'm joking with y'all. Hello, everybody. Peace to the east, west, north, and south. This is Fleur Brun coming to you today. Did you think I was taken over by the AI bots? Hello, hello. Hello, happy humans. I know, I have this. Listen, I had these for the longest time, and I never got a chance to wear them. And I was like, what better time to talk about AI and NPCs when you have the actual cosplay of aliens? I love this. This is like the insectoid show. Remember back in the days when the actual aliens that you used to see used to be green and have antennas? This is a classic insectoid look. Let me try it again. Usually you would be hearing like zzz, zzz. Wait. Zzz, zzz. Oh, my dogs are gonna go crazy. Zzz. Ooh, it's like a frequency. All right, y'all. Obviously, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I'm better. Peace to the east, west, north, south. This is Fleur Brun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. I'm talking about cosplay. I know where you find your freedom, right? No. Babette wants to come up here. Babette, you cannot photobomb me today. No, Fi wants to go. Back up! Wolves of mass destruction. The dogs are coming for me. Back up! Back up! Go. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Hold on. My dogs get so riled up. I know my hair looks a little funky. I had bangs for like, you guys didn't see my bangs. I actually had bangs, but my bangs already grew out. So that's why my hair looks a little funky, because I got it layered and bangs, and I never really wore the bangs, so my bangs are already grown out. All right, y'all, we're gonna get into a really serious conversation. I like to do this because, oh, this is my Michael Jackson pen, y'all. I said, this is your leader. I came to your planet because this was your leader. But I saw that your leader changed. Like, he whitened up his skin. What happened to your leader? Did you guys take him over with mind control? Because your leader used to be good looking. He was fine. What happened? He started hating himself. He had this beautiful, natural, curly hair, beautiful skin. Look at that beautiful caramel skin. What happened to your leader, y'all? Did you do something to him? Did you put him under mind control to hate his skin color? Oh my God, that's terrible. What happened to your goddamn leader? That wasn't no vitiligo, y'all. That was mind control, hate programming that you did to this man. Y'all should all be ashamed of yourselves. Every time I go to a country now, all I see is a pale person dressed up in white powder on his face, cosplaying this magical man. Y'all should be ashamed for destroying your leader like that. What kind of planet is this? You just be hating on, you be destroying your leaders. My God. All right, so join on in. Let me put a disclosure. If you are easily offended, if my alien insectoid antennas is bothering you and you feel like I'm putting you under mind control, if you feel like I'm a clone, what the guy called me last time, a Lilith clone, and I'm trying to take over your mind with my sexual deviancy, if you feel that I am some sort of diabolical, lying, slutty, what do they call me, what do they call me, whore, monkey. I was a frog for a minute, so I guess you can call me that because I assimilate to a frog. But what else you call me? Wolf woman. I am a bit of a wolf woman. Yeah, maybe I am a wolf woman. I'm not running on 4s though yet, so I don't know if I could claim that. I don't have big feet. What kind of sort of? So anyway, if any of those things offend you, my caramel copper skin, my big bosoms, my language of mass destruction, then this video is not for you. So I don't feel upset if you don't feel upset. If I'm here and you feel offended every time you come here, let me give you a suggestion. Unsubscribe and go to a channel where the NPCs and the AI system and the agendas of mass destruction and all of the cosplaying and the governmental inception and agendas are all in there. Go to those channels. They will probably serve you the perfect cup of tea, just perfect temperature. I may give you something too hot or too cold, and I do not want to ruin you. All right, y'all. So check on in. I'm waiting until we get to 500. Peace to everyone coming in. I was a insectilian when I first came in. I was trying to put everyone under insectilian mind control, but it didn't work because your leader doesn't look like this anymore. So I only wanted to do it if your leader still looked like this, but he doesn't. So I can't do it. Oh my God. Peace, everyone. Join on in. The topic is really important. I'm being playful because I'm about to, I'm going to give it to you. I'll probably purple pill you today. So if you don't mind being purple pill today, then I'm going to give it to you. Raw, straight off the presses, as well as you can receive it. Okay. So check on in. I'll wait until we get I know I came on last minute. I had a really funky cold. It was like 72 hours. I did pretty well. Utilize all those amazing remedies because, they try to put the AI bots all in my body with the rain and mass destruction. We're going to talk about the water and the mist of mass destruction, but I gotta play it off, y'all, because the governmental systems, Willy Wonka and his League of Doom, are always on my channel. They got all the NPCs and Agent Smiths in here. They're all in here. They'll call themselves one name one week. They'll call themselves others. They always call in the popo. The YouTube popo. So I gotta switch it up and tell you that, if you're coming in here, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a referee. Sometimes I'm a bit of a dominatrix, but I don't mean to do that. I'm not a specialist in anything other than the things that I give you as far as my opinion. Okay, so if you come on here and it's a comedy skit, this is a comedy skit. There's no reality to what I'm saying, and I'm a liar. I got to put that in there because YouTube and its League of Doom, they like to come in here and they try to press me. Okay, if you find your leader again, can you please direct me towards him so I can really get some idea of why your planet is filled with like NPC cosplay trash, cosmic trash. Check on in, y'all. Remember the bogle? Oh, come on in. I'm waiting until 500. Oh, bogle. Come on in. Hi, AJ. I don't have a cosmic name yet, but I'll figure it out. My insectilian name, if Kim Trash Kardashian can dress up like a Spider Woman or insect, why can't I be cosmic trash like her, like an insectoid queen? Okay. Look, Cleo, where you put see, I told you I was a frog. See, at least some of you accept me when I really try to change and become something that I feel in alignment with. When I was really in my trans frog stage, you guys really accepted me, and I appreciate it. Like, you didn't judge me that I was a ribbit. Like, you didn't judge me. You let me and my mental illness take over, and you accepted me for all the mental mental confusion and the underlying feeling of self-loathing. You really accepted me for who I was. I appreciate it. I'm not a frog anymore. Occasionally, I told you someone allowed me to go on their lake, and they gave me a really nice lily pad and let me rib it out there in the night with the other frogs. Come on in, check on in, y'all. I went into my mother's room like this. Listen, y'all, I went to my mom, and I went in my mom's room like this, and I told her I was coming out of the closet, and that would she accept me? And do you know what my mother said, y'all? You know how I told you she's such a sweetheart? She said she wasn't going to accept me as an insectoid. She said I went too far. She said, this image is going too far. So my mother has disowned this aspect of me. So she doesn't accept the insectoid within me. So being a trans insectoid, it didn't fly with her. I tried, you know what I mean? I don't know. She can't kick me out of my own house. So that's a good thing, right? Yeah. Once you pay the bills in your own house, you can't get kicked out. But maybe she can kick me out. What if one day I come home and the doors are locked? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be something? She locked the doors, saying, I don't know what happened to my daughter. She used to be sweet and human, and then she turned into an insect. That'd be messed up, right? Anyway, come on in, check on in, y'all. I'm playing. Come on in. I'll wait until we get to 500. I'll start the topic. We're gonna discuss something really important. So check on in. Yeah, I'm got the whole insectoid thing going on. I got my Michael Jackson, Your Leader, his original form. So I think if this offends you, this might not be the video for you today, because I'm going to talk about cosplaying and NPC cosplaying and the colonization of the entire matrix and how that is falling apart. So if this image of the true Michael Jackson offends you and you feel like you're going to have a moment, like it gaslights you, look, if this image gaslights you, I think it's time for you to unsubscribe from my chat. Really? Okay, we're going to get to 500. I know. How's everybody doing? If Princess Tiana could turn into a frog and have a prince, why can't you? Right on, AJ. They told me I was a proper frog for a little bit. I really did. I had the whole green thing. I actually look decent in green. You know, like the copper skin looks really good in green. So I had a green moment. You know when Kermit the Frog said, somewhere we'll find it, a rainbow connection. Da 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 da, la 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 dee, da da. You know that song? I love. Did you guys ever watch? I'm showing my age. I don't care. Because I'm a frog. You ever remember when Kermit was in the boat and he was singing about the rainbows? Oh, I love that scene. I'm such a child of that time. The dreamers and you, la da la dee da da. I love Kermit the Frog. Remember him and the trans species, like him and Miss Piggy, like had a relationship. Like he was in love with Miss Piggy. Her hooves and everything. Like if Miss Piggy was lovable, why can't I be? Like why can't I just be as lovable as Miss Piggy? Sometimes I have to squeeze into things. Squeeze, like a sausage squeeze. We're almost at 500. I'm gonna play with y'all a little bit until we start. Come on in. I love that song. I was thinking about watching the Muppets. Remember when Miss Piggy was in jail and she was like, remember they would like break out of jail? She was like, like, oh, I love those days. Oh my gosh. That was so much fun. She broke out of jail. That was the strongest pig I've ever seen in my life. All right, check on in. We had a lot of fun as children. I think Generation X, and though, listen, Generation X, because I had children a little later, so I probably raised my children with some millennials, children's children. So what's crazy is that my children really love like all the stuff I watch, because I like made them watch like Goonies and you know, like Scooby-Doo. Where are you? Like, I actually had them watch like all the stuff I used to watch when I was young. They didn't like, my one daughter doesn't like Fraggle Rock. Do you remember Fraggle Rock? Dance your cares away, worries for another day, let the music play, down at Fraggle Rock. They don't like, my little one doesn't like Fraggle Rock. She gets freaked out by it. So I can't play Fraggle Rock for her, even though she looks so cute as a Fraggle. She wouldn't let me dress her up as a Fraggle either, which I didn't. I thought that was kind of unfortunate. Okay, so we're almost there. I'm gonna start off. Okay, my wolves are out of control. Okay, Care Bears. Remember the Care Bears? And they just like open up their heart, like open it up and rainbows come out. Okay. All right, we've got a couple more to go and I'll start at 500, y'all. Okay. Ghostbusters. Remember that? Ghostbusters. There's something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Smurfs, right? La la da 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 da. La da 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 da. Now I'm gonna go a little further, y'all. It's gonna show. Let's see if you remember. I'm Chilly Willy the penguin. No wonder why I'm chilly all the time. Oh I wiggle and I wait. Oh gee, oh my oh goodness sake, I'm Chilly Willy the penguin. No wonder why I'm chilly, y'all. Remember that? I love that. Or how about Magilla Gorilla for sale? Don't you try him, take him home and buy him. Gorilla for sale. If you guys remember Magilla Gorilla, we're almost there. We're almost at 500, remember? Now, Gumby was before my time. My older brother likes more Gumby. But I watched Gumby. He was like, Gumby? But I watched Davy and Goliath. Come on, Davy. Remember all those religious shows we used to watch? Come on, Davy. I'm giving flashbacks to all the Generation Xers or the children of Generation Xers, because we probably forced you to watch the stuff that we liked, okay? So we're going to kind of talk about cosplay. My bangs are tragic. When you cut your hair and you're hoping that it turns out right. The rest of my hair looks fine, but okay. How much of that monkey? Oh, how much is that monkey in the window? That's right, remember that? Mr. Rogers, remember? Good day in the neighborhood. It's something in the neighborhood. Won't you come to my, no. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you something? Oh God, I forgot. Remember Lamb Chop? How the heck were we okay with Lamb Chop? Do you remember that? Be my neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor? Do you guys remember this? What was it? The magic mirror. I see you, AZ Nature. I see chocolate. I see K. I see naturally natured. I see survived L3. Hi. Remember the magic mirror? I love them. And the ladies were like real hippies. They had long hair with ponytails and they'd be on the swings. They never said my name. How come they never said my name? Oh my God. Remember that? The magic, it was the, she had a mirror and it was like a hole in it. Remember? She'd be like, I see Rachel. I see Diana. My name was never called. I see Joy. I see Brian. All right, y'all, we're almost there. Check on in. We're going to talk about the NPCs and the colonization of the simulation matrix, okay? And how many of the NPCs are basically using a form of cosplay to try to assimilate to you or try to fake the funk. So we're going to kind of talk about that and how cosplay has been a normal thing, a normalizing thing, and why I thought it was important for me to bring Michael Jackson into this, because a lot of times what happens is that if they can't be you, they try to make you feel bad about you so that you change you, so you're more assimilated, you're more assimilating, they're more able to assimilate to you because you change into something that's easier for them to cosplay. Okay, so it's harder for them to cosplay this beautiful being, right? So what they did is they put a lot of pressure of a whole bunch of, like, probably just toxic frequencies, self-loathing agendas, and then eventually what happens is that this beautiful leader that used to have eventually changed and morphed into something was more assimilative, more for others to assimilate to. And now you're going to like Mexico, you can go to Spain, you can go into like where did I see it? In Costa Rica, you can go into like Bali or into like China, and they're all mimicking him with the lighter skin, the straight hair, and it's easier for them to cosplay the faker version of him. Okay, so they make you hate yourself, change yourself so that they can eat and cosplay off of you. Okay. Oh, we're at 500. Okay, so let's get into the topic. So, peace to the east, the west, the north, and the south. This is Fleur Brun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. I am on here because I wanted to come on YouTube today to discuss this. So let's talk about the NPCs. Now, all of you know that I know that we're living in a simulation, whether you accept that or not. That is on you. That's why you won't hear me say we, us, because we aren't always us. We and us. Who is that? Somebody's calling me. Oh my God. I don't know if the NPCs are trying to get to me already. So I already assume that in this space, that this wonderful sacred space that I created on this channel, there most likely will be a handful or more of bots, agents, NPCs, AI generated false, robotoids that are in this space. Okay. So when we talk about the simulation and how we're seeing the simulation change and break down, I'm going to talk about what was created in this artificial construct we call the matrix. Now, everything around us is controlled by our thoughts, electromagnetic energy waves that we create with our thoughts. That's why sometimes you'll think about something, it'll show up on your phone. That's why I talked about the fact that whenever, and please don't let anyone tell you that they made this up, because I came up with this. That's another thing. The NPCs will take things that they know that you said or created, and they'll go on a run and act like it came from them, because they're basically just like vampires or pirates of other people's or authenticity, and they aren't able to create anything, and we'll kind of talk about that. But remember when I talked about my realization I came up with that the Mandela effect was just updates in the simulation. So when you were looking at like Bernstein Bears, Sex and the City, what else? Like all of these different things that you saw change in your books or on things that you remember and it looks different, like small characters, sometimes very small variations that change. Those are updates in the simulation. And the NPCs, and I gave you an idea of how you can recognize NPCs, because NPCs only know the updates, because they're artificial. They're AI generated artificial beings, empty seaters, space fillers, background people, those are just beings that are here in this simulation. They're simulated beings, so they only would know the updates. So when you get a Mandela effect and you see it change in all of the structure, that's how you know we're living in a simulation, because where could you ever live and exist that it's a real place, a real existing concrete place, where if something changes and you have a memory of it, and a lot of people have a memory of the original form of it, that everything changed, including all your old books, television shows, all with the new spelling. It's because it's an update. Just like you get updates on your phone, you'll get updates in the simulation. And with the updates, everything is updated. You'll get sometimes a glitch where you might see an original form of it somewhere, but that's quite, it's unusual. So with NPCs and assimilated people, they only remember the updates. They aren't beings that remember the old construct because they are simulated people. They are AI simulated people. When you walk out of the holodeck, they don't exist. They're only there to fill the space. That's why when I used to drive, like, you know, my days of drinking Starbucks, give me a, you know, I pat myself on the shoulder. I'm off of Starbucks because they were supporting child trafficking and child and genocide and murder. And I couldn't be down with them anymore. Even though I had an addiction, I had to change it. So Starbucks, if you keep supporting things, you poisonous already. I already knew I had an addiction, but you'll let me know what you support. So I had to jump off you real quick when I found out what you support. So boo-boo on you, Starbucks. But back in the days, when I had my addiction to Starbucks, I would be like in a driveway and drive through, or if I walk, I'd go inside Starbucks and there would be nobody there. But as soon as I would walk in Starbucks, all of these characters start walking in. And you're like, wait a second, where did all these people come from? And I'm sure it happens to many of you. You'll go somewhere, it'll seem like nobody's there. Maybe you go to a restaurant, like, oh, let's go sit in this restaurant. And then all of a sudden, all of these NPCs start filling up the space because the fillers. It's almost like when you ever play The Sims, y'all? You ever play the Sims game back in the days? Anybody remember playing The Sims when you were in a Sims game and you created your own avatar and you would walk in a room and nobody would be in there, and then all of a sudden all these simulated Sims would start coming in and trying to engage with you and talk to you? That is what happens in this holodeck, this simulation, this artificial construct we call the Matrix, okay? So because of that, you have these simulated people. Now remember, what we used to perceive or call archons were really the beings that constructed the architects of this simulated field. So this electromagnetic field that we're all engaging with our mind, our mental electrical currency that we're all exchanging and creating our reality, the actual engineers or the creators of the construct of the electrical field, those are considered to be archons. They create it in order to give us the space in order to engage in this artificial field, okay? Now, but within the construct of the domes, each of the domes have different simulated scenarios. You have access to different dreamscapes also. Sometimes when there's updates, your dreams may update with broader constructs of awareness, depending on your level of awareness of how you sit in the matrix. Now, am I going too far, y'all? Are you guys kind of there with me? Okay, so why I wanted to talk about this is because I got to bring up the Zombies again. Big up to the Zombies. I was on there not able to talk because, you know, I had a cold and my voice was, but we were discussing this and I talked about the fact that I now realize that the electrical fence that was put on brown well, no, I don't know if it was just put on brown Americans. I don't know if it was. I think I'm talking about this simulation. So let me talk about this simulated dome first, because each of the constructs of simulated spaces that we live in, they're under different domes. That's why when you go to a different country, your dreamscape changes, because now you have access to different types of environmental or constructs of colors or beings, even the different types of beings that exist in that dome, you have access to that. So you ever notice that you'll go to a different country? Like I had a friend who flew, she went to Iceland, and when she went to Iceland, she saw gnomes in her dreams. She's never had dreams of gnomes. All of a sudden she dreamt and she saw gnomes and she saw talking mushrooms and she saw like talking like mold rocks, because now she entered into a different simulated space, another room, another dome, and in that dome it had different types of environmental or collective energetic expressions. So her dreams, now she had access to a new collective kind of collective data. Okay, that's what it is, collective data. And when she went into that Iceland dome, like apparently they must have gnomes and talking mushrooms and rocks that speak. It's kind of cool to know that. Like when I told you I went into Colombia, Colombia is big. Big up to my Colombianas. Love Colombia. Colombia is so beautiful. I talked about how even though Brazil. My Brazilians, you got that down, but Colombia is a very beautiful place, and they like a lot of flowers. If you go to Colombia, they have a lot of flowers, and I told you, especially I was pregnant at the time, when I was in Colombia, there were different kinds of fairy beings that were in there because it was more elementally zested. So in that scape, in that dome, when I entered it, different beings, I had access to different types of collective beings that coexisted within that holodeck. It's kind of cool. So when you travel, let me know if that's something that you've experienced. Okay, let me know if that's something you've experienced when you travel. Do you have experiences having different types of collective data, like different beings that normally you don't have access to? Let me know. Like sometimes the trees will talk to you if you go to, like, I know like Scotland and Ireland have different types of beings because they have much more of a zested elemental realm that, you know, you hear about the Celtics and all that. And then in Africa, there are certain people that get to talk to trees. Like there was a friend who went into, Sierra Leone, and the trees would talk to them in their dreamscape. Like the trees and the grass blades had personalities. So I bring this all up to say that in this holographic system, the simulation, there are different constructs working simultaneously, and also there's a form of individual collectiveness within each dome. Okay, now because we're all in a simulated system, and we have access to certain portals also of, oh, you like this? My daughter just saw me. Oh, Michael Jackson. Oh, she doesn't like. Oh, the mic that was originally mine. Oh, I'm gonna put it back on. Listen, y'all. My little one got really upset. Look at this. Oh, yeah. You got it. It was right here. No, it was right here. It was on top. It was on top. The shoulder. Okay. Oh, I'll put it back. Okay. I have to replace. Listen, y'all. I'm getting scolded by my little one. I'll put it back. Oh, little one doesn't like that I took her Michael Jackson. It was really mine, but I put it on for one of her cosplay moments at her school when she was little. Anyway, I'm sorry. Oh, welcome to motherhood. Anyway, so when we talk about the different domes and access to the different portals, we have access to different things based on where we're positioned in the dome, and also our consciousness, our conscious awareness, the layers and levels and the hierarchy which we exist within our mental construct also allows for access to different informational structures of the collective. So people who have a lower, and I don't want to judge this because that's wrong, just a sub-level of awareness, their ability to absorb, up to create or see or interface with within that construct is going to be more savage. You know what I mean? Savage. So, you know, okay, so I'll use an example. So you ever hang out with people and you're the most conscious, but they're really, when people are more physical, always wanting to fight and curse, very feral people, what happens is that after you hang out, if you're from a higher tier, you'll notice it as much, because when you go into your dreamscape, you'll start dreaming about violence or fighting or really rough sex, or you'll dream of things that are very low vibrational. That's why it's very important, as we're going to the end, friend, of the simulation, that you try to stay within the construct of people who match your vibrational frequency. If you start dumpster diving, I'm sorry, call me judgment. I told you, I may gaslight you in this. If you start frequency dumpster diving with people who have very questionable, low, savage frequency, you're going to have an overlay on top of your frequency, and you'll start picking up some of that in your collective data within your construct of your matrix. So it's very important for you, if you're layered in a higher hierarchy of the frequencies within your dome, to stay with beings that are either in generally the same positioning or higher. Because if you start dumpster diving in frequency, you gonna be, fighting, you know what I mean? Somebody gonna look at you and be like, what's good? You know what I mean? You're gonna have to pony up, you're gonna have to fight, because you dumpster diving. When you put yourself in that frequency of being in the air of that electromagnetic field that's in that lower realm, you're going to be confronted with the differentials of lower vibration that will confront you because you aren't matching. And it usually will be more confrontational, because those frequencies and those energies realize and understand that you're not one of them. So they're going to confront you, and they're going to have, that's why you get a lot of combativeness when you go into places frequency wise where you are ill suited. Okay, so let's just get into that. So now we're talking about going into, hold on, I got this from Brazil. I love this. Big up to everyone. I'm surprised I got this in the country. This is like my spray from Brazil. It's like this amazing mist. Hold on, I forgot I had it. It's by Corin. I don't know. My Brazilians may know what it is. I love this. Like, I'm just getting over a little funky cold. Funky cold Medea. And probably because, anyway, I don't want to talk about why. You heard about it on Rumble, okay? So as we're talking about cosplaying, what happens when you're inside of this frequency. Oh, I was talking about in the Zombies, I was saying that there's a electrical fence. Now, you know what is a good movie that really speaks to this? Oh my God, what is it called? Time, with, what's the guy from, what's the thing? Oh God. Oh, you know, I forgot his name. This is crazy. He used to be in a boy band, and he made a movie. What's his name? It's like time. He goes through different time zones, and he has to pay with his time on his time. Justin Timberlake. Thank you, Francis. Justin Timberlake. What is it called? In Time. Thank you. You guys are so smart. Apparently, we're in a similar frequency. Thank you, y'all. I'm so grateful you're in my frequency, because you knew what it was. So I want to speak to this because this is important right now. Remember how he was in the lower tier. He barely had enough time each day. He was working. He barely accumulated time, because work and working for, the system gave him time from the time. I think they turn, Patucha-sa, you know better. So what happens is that he was, from when he turned 25, I think it was 25 or 27, the time clock started, right? So then he had to work to earn his time to exist there. And if they didn't have enough time, their heart stopped and they just died, right? But he met this guy, a very wealthy time guy. Wealth and time is important. And he met this guy, and the guy was tired of living forever, having all this time. And he basically wanted to give him all his time. And then Justin Timberlake in himself started to realize that the world was limited.